G'day folks, how you going? Coach Neil back again, and this is part 3. All right, so part 3 of the 6-part series. 1 and 2 are done, obviously. Check my timeline or story for that. All right, part 3, how to boost your immune system naturally. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the specific, herbs, spices, botanicals, foods that you can include in your diet daily or every second day or weekly or whatever. I mean, you don't have to do these things every day, but they have an accumulative immune boosting effect. And it's not always immune boosting. Sometimes it's immune modulating, all right? So you don't always want your immune system on attack. Sometimes you want to regulate it so it's not overly sensitive, so it's functioning optimally. So modulating is that expression, all right? So for example, in an autoimmune condition, they would want to modulate the immune response and not increase it, okay? So some of these things modulate it, some of them boost it, some of them increase white blood cells, some of them increase the ability of your T cells to latch onto a foreign invader, such as a virus. All right, so they all have slightly different functions, and some have very similar functions. All right, so I'm going to explain the best ones. Okay, I'm only going to go through a list of 8 to 10 now. All right, there's probably thousands in the world. Okay, if you're living in the Amazon, Latin America, if you're living in Asia, they would have different herbs and plants and botanicals that would do similar things to the stuff I'm going to tell you now, but have got totally different names, or they're totally different and foreign to what we know. Okay, so you'll find these things everywhere. So at the end of the day, your immune system is your defense. Hello, Joshua. Is your defense against threats. Okay, threats that come from externally into the body. It's your immune system's job to identify and annihilate those threats before they cause illness or disease. All right. So at the end of the day, your immune system is your line of defense between you and getting sick. All right, which obviously you should probably know. Okay. Now, I'm going to cover very quickly the sheer fundamentals. If I have to explain this stuff to people, then there's something wrong with you, and you've got bigger problems than the coronavirus. All right. So the fundamentals are health, nutrition, sleep, water, vitamin D. Okay, these are things that we should all know by now. Okay, so at the end of the day, you want adequate sleep, and by adequate I'm talking over 7 hours. Okay, 7 to 9 hours is recommended, and they've done a ton of studies on sleep and its effect on boosting the immune system, preventing infection. Okay, so you can look that up in a number of medical journals. All right, many people tell me, I can function on 5 hours sleep, no problem. You function, but are you functioning at peak? Probably not. Is your immune system as strong as it should be? Most probably not. Okay, you're only functioning on 5 hours because you've had to. You've trained yourself to do that. Okay, it's not ideal. All right. Now I understand some people are parents. Some people have got jobs which require them to get up at 4:30 in the morning, so they can only get 5 hours sleep. I get that. All right, but at the end of the day, if you want to boost your immune system, you've got to increase your quality of sleep, duration of sleep, or your REM sleep. All right, which is your REM, your deep sleep. All right, so you can even take naps. All right, if you can't sleep 7 to 9 hours straight, but you can take a 20-minute power nap, do it. All right. Okay, so sleep. Water, obviously, clean, filtered water, not fucking tap water, preferably not water out of plastic bottles, because what are plastic bottles made out of? Chemicals. All right, so what do you think leaches into the water that's inside the bottles? Chemicals. All right, there is no way water can sit in a plastic bottle for any duration or period of time without the chemicals in that bottle eventually leaching into that water. All right, you don't know how long it's been in that bottle, so if you're going to drink water out of a bottle, drink it out of glass bottles. Ideally, get yourself a water filter and filter your own water at home. All right, so tons of water. All right, and when I say tons, I don't mean overdo it. I just mean enough water each and every day, so when you're taking a pee, it's predominantly clear, provided that's after the morning flow, when you're going to have a darker coloured urine from cleansing from the night before. All right, so sleep and water. Okay, vitamin D. Okay, my preference is always sun. Okay, now I understand, and the fact that I've said this myself, that this virus is mostly attacking currently colder climates which don't have the bloody sun. All right, so what do you do if you don't have the sun? So okay, in that instance, I will recommend and do recommend a high quality vitamin D supplement. Okay, ideally you want to look for an organic source. Okay, so you need to find one that's been cultured organically or naturally. Okay, what they do is they grow them on foods, these vitamins. All right. Now I can't tell you what dose to take because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a clinical nutritionist. It's not my place to give you that advice because I don't know what your current levels are. I don't know how much you need, basically. All right. Now, what I can tell you is the general range is between 1,000 IU and 5,000 IU of vitamin D per day. in a person that has a vitamin D deficiency, okay? To find your deficiency, well, you'd have to see a local practitioner, clinical nutritionist, and get your levels measured. I can't tell you how much to take, all right? It's not for me to say. And just before I carry on, I probably better do the bloody disclaimer that I should always do. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. It's not a substitute for medical advice. Don't ever take what I say as if I'm coming from the perspective of a doctor or an academic. I'm not. I'm a natural health guy, all right? So on that note, if you do have any concerns regarding this virus, this sickness, and you're worried, you contact your local health professional, okay? What they're saying now is please don't go into the clinic or to the hospital. Ring them first, tell them your symptoms, tell them how you're feeling, you know? They will tell you what to do next, okay? So don't just rock up to the emergency room or rock up to your local clinic, because you could spread it if you've got it, or you could catch it whilst you're there if you don't have it. All right, so moving on. Vitamin D, water, sunshine. Oh yeah, and sunshine, if you can get sunshine, it is the best for vitamin D, okay? Sunshine hits the body, cholesterol beneath the skin interacts with the sunshine, produces vitamin D, and that's the best form of vitamin D, all right? So yeah, and when I say sunshine, you don't have to lay out in the sun for an hour in the scorching, blazing heat and burn yourself. You only need 20 minutes in the sun, all right, to get sufficient vitamin D production. Okay, so water, sunshine, vitamin D, sleep. Okay, so they're the main fundamentals. The other fundamentals are fruits and vegetables. Okay, healthy diet, more of the good stuff, less of the bad stuff. Okay, I'm not going to try and explain to you every single fruit and vegetable you should eat and all the things you shouldn't eat, because if you don't know, then again, you've got bigger problems in this coronavirus, all right? So everybody knows what eating healthy is. You know, if you could take a look at the food on your plate and you can say to yourself, that's healthy, then it's probably healthy. If you take a look at it and it looks like garbage, it's probably garbage. And remember, you are what you eat, literally. Like your blood plasma is made out of the food that you eat. All right, so you are literally what you eat. All right, the only difference is your blood cells come from your bone marrow. You know. All right, so on that note, moving on to the actual specific foods, herbs, spices, botanicals that boost your immune system. Okay, so number one, garlic. All right, you've probably heard garlic is it's a wonder food, and it is. All right, it's a natural antimicrobial, antiviral, antibacterial. It's because of the allicin that it contains. All right, so that's compounded within the garlic. However, the trick to that is, unfortunately, if you cook it to death, you lower its properties of antiviral, antibacterial. All right, if that's even a word. Okay, so ideally you want it raw, all right, which is not very appetizing. But you can use garlic, crush it up, blend it in with a smoothie and just scull it, you know what I mean? You can cook it, but if you're going to cook it lightly and gently for a short period of time, low heat, so as not to destroy the allicin, all right? Chili, all right, so chili, cayenne, all right, these have capsaicin, all right? Now, they may or may not have an actual immune boosting response, but they have an exceptional ability to remove pathogen from the body via mucus. All right, so you may see your eyes running, your nose running, etc. when you consume chili and cayenne. All right, and that is because they are literally stimulating that mucus production and release. Okay, so they are fantastic. Just steer clear of other people after you've had chili. All right, because you'll be dribbling out your nose and dribbling out your eyes. All right, okay, so. Moving on from that, the actual botanicals or herbs that I recommend the most are astragalus. All right, so astragalus is a known immune boosting adaptogen. All right, so now astragalus takes a while to work. It doesn't just work like that. So that is something you would take, for a significant period of time to boost your white blood cell count. All right, and it has an accumulative effect, and then it reaches like a level of working where it's working efficiently, and it will just stay there. All right, you can take it ongoing. All right, but it's not necessarily needed or ideal. You would take it more just before periods of threat, so before cold or flu season in those cases, or now because this coronavirus is present. All right, the other one, echinacea. Okay, so you've probably heard of echinacea. It's a fantastic herb. I prefer to use echinacea for acute symptoms. So if you've got something and you use liquid, echinacea is my favorite, but you can get the capsules at like 5 to 10,000 strength. All right, but liquid is my preferred. If you use them during your symptoms, you will recover faster. Okay. Olive leaf extract, very similar to astragalus, okay? That's something you can take continuously, and again, it has an effect of increasing your white blood cell count, okay? What else have we got? Oh, andrographis, okay? So andrographis is another one that falls into a similar category as the olive leaf, echinacea, astragalus, okay? And works on a similar pathway by increasing your white blood cell count, okay? So, for example, you wouldn't take all 4 of them, you would choose one, you know? If I was extremely worried, I might take an olive leaf extract consistently, and I might use an echinacea during acute symptoms if I was suffering from something, okay? But again, I can't tell you what to do because I am not a doctor, I'm not a clinical nutritionist, I'm not a naturopath, all right? These are things I do for myself. Again, the purpose of these videos is to give you information. You can then take away that information, do your own research, speak to a local practitioner perhaps, and get the best method of delivery for yourself, okay? So bear that in mind, okay? Don't just go out and buy all these things and throw them in because you can't do that, okay? It doesn't work that way. There's a very specific method that you should take anything that has an immunostimulating or modulating response in the body, all right? So they're my favourite 4 botanicals, okay? There are others, and you can look it up and find out what they are if you like, okay? Moving on to my favourite sort of dailies, which I use, which are roots, okay? Ginger and turmeric, okay? Now, ginger, again, is a white blood cell stimulator, but it's also antipathogenic, okay? So it does kill bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites, okay? So it's antipathogenic, as well as the fact it can also stimulate white blood cell count, all right? So increasing your white blood cells, which are your immune army, all right? What was the other one I said? Oh, turmeric, okay? Now, turmeric doesn't necessarily boost your immune system, but it has an immunomodulating effect, as well as being fantastic for a number of other things. Anti-inflammation, for a start, it kills cancer cells, number 2. Like, the studies on turmeric are just, they're through the roof. There are so many benefits to turmeric, or the active compound curcumin, that it's just something that I include daily, all right? And I put it oh, actually, I've got it right here, all right? So here we go. Here down in Caribbean, it's called curcuma, all right? So curcumin, all right? I use that every day in my shakes, all right? And yeah, I've even got my ginger here, all right, which I use most days as well, okay? Okay, so moving on, all right? Hang on a sec, let me just check my notes because I've got some today, just in case. Okay, right, so they're the sort of compound stuff that I would use. Then we've got something like honey, all right? So honey is it's a prebiotic, okay? So it feeds your microbiome, all right? It's also an oligosaccharide, all right? So it feeds the probiotics in your gut, which are your good bacteria, which in turn strengthen your immune army, okay? Your immune system, okay? It's also Mother Nature's most, fantastic substance that you consume for any type of gut issue, all right? So if you've got any gut issue and you use a honey, that's going to help you balance out that gut issue. It's got enzymes, it's got prebiotics, it's got vitamins and minerals, and it does have its own antibacterial but not antiviral properties, okay? So honey's another fantastic one, all right? Then we've got coconut oil, all right? So coconut oil, I use this. This is a little bottle. I'm travelling, so I only got little stuff all the time, but when I'm at home, I have big bottles, all right? So coconut oil. Now, coconut oil, again, is antipathogenic, all right? So it's antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, antiparasitic. It kills them all, okay? Now, as I mentioned before, I'm not sure if it was on a video or on a post, like you can't just take one of these things and expect to neutralize a virus like coronavirus. But when you use them synergistically and strategically at different times of the day, they have a combined weapons of mass destruction effect, all right? Now, coconut oil, you can literally drink it, all right? Take a shot of 30 ml, all right? If you've got any bacteria or virus from your mouth, through your throat, through your GI tract, out down to the back door, it will kill them, all right? And you'll know it's killing them because you'll feel it. You will feel physically sick, okay? You'll get nausea. In extreme cases, you will vomit, all right? And I apologise for that, but that just means it's doing its job. And quite often, if there's any bacteria in there that shouldn't be there, you will be on the toilet doing the number 2s in the runs department, all right? So you out the back door. All right, so so just reading a couple of comments. All right, so coconut oil. All right, if you don't want to take it raw because it will make you sick, if you've got any bacteria or virus coming through here, you can put it into a smoothie and it will still have the same effect. You just won't feel physically ill because of it. All right. Now, what else? Okay, so I'm going to move on to things we call polysaccharides. All right. Now, polysaccharides are compounds that come from foods which feed the immune system. All right, so they feed your microbiome, in turn feeds your immune system. So a polysaccharide would be aloe vera. gel, like fresh, pure aloe vera, 100%, none of that garbage you buy on the shelf in the supermarket, which says aloe vera on the front, you turn it around, it's full of crap. All right? So 100% aloe vera has polysaccharides. Polysaccharides feed the immune system. It's also prebiotic, feeds your microbiome. Okay, so aloe vera, which I don't have here to show you, but aloe vera gel, 100%. Okay. The other one, well, and here, I'm getting to the superfoods here now. These are the best ones, okay? Medicinal mushrooms are polysaccharides, all right? But they're also fiber, they're also vitamin D, okay? And they also have, high antioxidants and, what's the word I'm looking for? A white blood cell stimulating effect, all right? So medicinal mushrooms. Now, there are tons of these, but my favorites are chaga and reishi, okay? And I would take them together in a powdered extract form, okay? So if you're looking for something like that, you want a powdered extract, and it will tell you the extract concentration on the label, and it will tell you want it from an organic source, obviously, all right? But chaga and reishi is something I would definitely include. I don't have it here, but if I had access to it, I would, to be honest, all right? Because chaga and reishi, they are, also weapons of mass destruction when it comes to, fighting infections, all right? They boost your immune system massively, all right? So what else have we got there? Chaga and reishi. Let me just check my notes because sometimes I make some. No, I've covered, honey. Oh, sorry, the obvious, which I haven't covered, is probiotics, okay? So probiotics are things that feed your microbiome. I've mentioned a couple of them, but the other ones are anything fermented, apple cider vinegar, sauerkraut, kombucha, kimchi, kefir. All right, so any fermented food with its beneficial bacteria will feed your microbiome, which will strengthen your immune system, okay? So you want to include those where you can, okay? Now, apple cider vinegar is my go-to, but it's disgusting and it's very strong. And some people can't throw that in if they haven't had it before. If they try and take it, they will feel physically ill, all right? So if that's the case, you want to start with something like a kombucha and some other natural probiotics, sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, whatever. You can take a probiotic supplement. If you're going to do that, which in some cases you may have to, you may not have access to these natural probiotics, then you want to look for a probiotic that is high strength. And when I say high strength, I'm talking 50 billion, all right? Not this pathetic 5 billion crap you get in the chemist warehouse or whatever. All right, 50 billion, okay, live bacteria of multiple strains. Now, when I say multiple strains, like a lactobacillus, a bifidum, acidophilus, whatever, they're the parent strains, and then you'll have a number of different strains underneath the parent. All right, so you might only see the 2 or 3 main ones on there. There's another one which is a yeast, which is called Saccharomyces boulardii. All right. So you may only see those listed on the label, but you want to see multiple strains of those, okay? Because it's then they feed your microbiome. It's not like you put them in and they increase your microbiome. You put them in and they feed your microbiome and stimulate your microbiome to produce more of what's missing, okay? So probiotics are good if it's high strength, and also it's got to be time delay, so delayed release capsule, because it has to pass through your mouth, through your hydrochloric acid in your stomach, has to make it to the intestines before the capsule dissolves, okay? If it doesn't make it to the intestines, if it's not delayed release, you're going to burn up 85% of it in your gastrointestinal tract, and the rest of it's only just going to make it to your intestines, okay? So delayed release, capsules that do not digest in the stomach, high strength, 50 billion, multi-strain, okay? What's the other one? Oh, finally, and this is not something I can speak of personally because I haven't even delved into the research on this yet, and I haven't tested it. And everything I've just told you, I've tested. Tested on myself, I've tested on hundreds of clients, okay? So I know this stuff works, all right? And how do you know it works? You know what? If you doubt me and you're not sure, go to your doctors, if you'll let you. Get yourself an immune function test, all right? It'll test your white blood cells, immunoglobulin. You'll see where you're at. Then implement all this stuff, go back 4 weeks later, get another test. I guarantee you your count will be up and your immunity will be much stronger, all right? So the final thing, essential oils, all right? Now, essential oils are fantastic, but they're not something I've yet spent any time getting into because I've been busy doing what I do and my thing, and I'm more about diet and lifestyle and food and stuff that I eat and put in my body, okay? I haven't tested essential oils yet, all right? I've read literature, I've had feedback from people that sell them will tell you how fantastic they are, of course, which is fine because if they work, I'm all for them, all right? So the typical ones that are the best these days that I've heard and I've read are oregano, oil of oregano, frankincense, okay, which I will talk about in one of my later videos because it has powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Okay, eucalyptus, tea tree, but some of these things you can't consume, obviously. All right, so oral absorption of them is very, well, it's non-existent. All right, topical application. So apparently you can put them on the balls of your feet. I haven't done it. All right, I haven't got there yet, but I will test it later. All right, so that's the other thing. All right, so I think I've covered everything. I'm going to flick through my notes just to double check. All right. Yeah, I've got everything I wanted to cover. I haven't talked about many other foods as such because I'm going to touch on foods in the antiviral video that's coming next. So the most powerful natural antivirals that you can consume and use from nature to boost your immune system antivirus capabilities. So when you get a viral threat, it will destroy that threat, create the antibodies, and get rid of it. All right. Excuse me. So that's all for today. Now this was part 3. Part 4 is coming, which is antivirals. Okay. Now, if you want to keep up to date with me, other than having to scroll through my timeline, join my group, my private group, which is Thump, Healing and Natural Healing and Biohacking. I'm going to put the link below this video. Okay. So please join that group, and you'll see everything in the one place, and you'll obviously be able to have access to me daily in there. All right. And if you've got any personal worries or concerns about this coronavirus, and you're literally, thinking, shit, I want to do something about this, and how do I go about it? Then just slide into my DMs and let's have a chat, and I'll see where you're at, and I'll see if I can guide you in the right direction. Okay, and finally, please share this video and these videos because hopefully you found some useful information in them. Feedback I've had is that people are enjoying them and getting useful information, so please share it. Feel free to share it wherever you want on your timeline, send a link, whatever, okay? Because the more people we can help themselves, the more we're going to prevent the spread of this disease, okay? And it's not looking good, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I know I've already done a bit of fear at the start of this, but it's really looking quite bad, and so we need to be prepared and we need to protect ourselves. All right? So on that note, I'm going to leave it there now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one, which is antivirals. Cheers, folks. Bye.